Hi, welcome to the next video in this section. We're now going to talk about expressing relations as ordered pairs. So notice I already have an example on the screen where we're going to have our set X, which is going to be Jack, Jill, and Paul, and Mary from the previous example. And now set Y is going to be their GPA. So Mary has a 4.0, Jack has a 3.7, Jill has a 3.8, and Paul has a 3.5. Now, examples like this where each person in X has exactly one arrow pointing out of it lend themselves very nicely to things called ordered pairs. And then later on we'll also see ordered pairs then will lend themselves to things called equations. And so first thing we want to do is we want to translate this relation into a set of ordered pairs. So generically, an ordered pair looks like this, X, comma, Y. And that's why I named our sets X and Y, because different values from set X will go in the X position, different sets from Y will go into the Y position. Now, notice that the value of Y depends on which person you pick. If you pick Jill, you're going to get it 3.8, whereas if you pick Paul, you're going to get 3.5. So the value of Y is completely dependent on the value of X. So X here is known as the independent variable. And then Y, since Y depends solely on X, is called the dependent variable. And that's going to be the way through your math careers until you hit usually Calc 3. Is X is always going to be independent variable, Y will always depend on X in some fashion. Sometimes you'll use different variables, and we'll see that a little bit in this course. But in generic situations like this, we just use X and Y. Now, how do we write this into notation, into this ordered pair notation? And we look at each arrow, and we notice that Jack gets associated with 3.7. So Jack is going to fill in the X part here, and 3.7 is going to fill in the Y part. So this will look like Jack, oh, that's not how you spell Jack, comma, 3.7. So Jack came from the X objects, 3.7 came from the Y objects. And we're going to make a whole list of them. So when we list things, we put commas between them. So here's one ordered pair, and comma. So now we want to do another ordered pair. Well, the next person on our list is Jill, and Jill got a 3.8. So we're going to use a round parentheses, write Jill, comma, 3.8, and close the parentheses. And since there's more people on our list, we're going to put another comma outside. And next person on our list is Paul. So we're using open parentheses, write Paul, comma, and Paul got a 3.5. And then finally, Mary. Mary, as we see, got a 4.0, so we're going to put a comma outside the parentheses, write Mary, and write that she got a 4.0, and close the parentheses. So let me zoom out a little bit so we can see the entire list. So we have ordered pair 1 here for Jack, ordered pair 2 here for Jill, ordered pair 3 for Paul here, and ordered pair 4 for Mary here. And now, kind of the crappy thing with math sometimes is it has some weird notation, and in this case it does. This is a list of objects, and in math, when you have a list or a set of ordered pairs, as we like to say, we have to enclose them in these weird brackets like this. Now, that one didn't turn out so hot. Let's draw it again. And so this is a set of ordered pairs. And so when I say write a relation as a set of ordered pairs, well, this is what I mean. I want you to take something like this and turn it into something like this. Now, remember what we said last time. We said that the domain is just the set of objects in X that have an arrow coming out of it, and the range is the set of objects in Y that have an arrow pointing to it. So notice here what happens here is that the domain then becomes the set of first coordinates and then the range is the set of second coordinates. And so in this case, for our relation that we have on the screen here, our domain is, and leave yourself a little room here, we're going to have Jack, Jill, Paul, and Mary. But again, this is a set of people. And so just like with the ordered pairs, they are going to get this weird little bracket notation. And then the range is just all the GPAs. So in this case, this is going to be 3.7, 3.8, 3.5, and 4.0. So let me make those decimal points a little more clear. And again, we use the brackets to indicate that we have a set of numbers here. One of the things to note about when listing stuff in domain and range like this, or even with the ordered pairs, is that the order doesn't matter. So this is equal, this set, for example, in the range is also equal to 4.0, 3.7, 3.5, and 3.8. So with these weird little bracket notations like the one I just drew, order doesn't matter. So you can list things in any order. The elements in the range don't have to come in the same order as the things in the domain. We just care about what has arrows coming out of it, what has arrows going into it, and with ordered pairs that means what shows up first, that's your domain, and what shows up in the second part of the ordered pair, and that's your range. Next video, we're going to talk about actually graphing ordered pairs in the XY plane, and then we'll move on to tables and equations for our types of relations.